He said a lot. Let's check it out.
Because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card.
Before he get into the man card, I know he's talking about Hollywood, but it's a lot of things people do in their regular life that have these same effects. Maybe the money ain't as big, maybe the fame don't come with it, but it's things that people do in their own life, their own everyday life. Some of these things we do, selling out your character. And people may not agree with who your character truly is, but selling out your character for anything is it's still selling your soul. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us sell our souls every day. We sell our souls stabbing loved ones in the back or people that's there for us for things that we know is fleeting, But what he about to get into now?
That's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it. A man gives it.
Facts. Hey, I almost wrecked the truck when I heard this.
So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time.
Without using certain verbiage or without sounding redundant, but he did a remarkable job. Remarkable.
You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Now, I wouldn't say everybody that went to the puffy party gave up their manhood, but I know what he getting at. He's smoking.
Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
Man. And he ain't just talking about taking a finger in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Maintaining your man card means a whole lot of things. Mainly it means telling your woman no sometimes. It means saving money when people want you to spend it. It means being able to stay steadfast on your goals when it seems like you may lose things you think are important or you thought was important. Being a man it means people may not like you. Because you got to do what's right, not what feel good to everybody else. You got to do what's going to make sure we got food and money next month. Not just all about enjoying the day. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
No matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card.
So glad I ain't man.
You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up get the role. They get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
Man, he killing it. He killing it. And the thing is, you got a lot of regular people like this. Like you got a lot of guys like, okay, they may have the shoes, they may have the clothes, you know what I'm saying? They may be friends with this or that person, but they don't own a car. They don't own a house. Their kid may be dressed in designer, but there is no savings in college fund. You know what I'm saying? If something happened, there's no lawyer money. A lot of us are selling our soul for worthless things. A lot of us. And it's not just people in Hollywood. And I know he's talking about people in Hollywood, but I'm talking about everyday motherfuckers. Everyday motherfuckers, because it's happening.
If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't.
Now, I just want to take this time to explain an important point to women that don't understand. Did you hear what he said about how much sperm is produced? These guys are very articulate and intelligent. Nobody is interrupting or arguing with him. And I think they are amazed, not by what he's saying, but that a black man actually understands these things. Because in both of their cultures, and these are two men from two different cultures, not counting Terrance, I'm talking about the other two gentlemen, and they don't have to go through some of the things that we go through. And what they think is that as most of us black men just don't understand, because what we accept, you know what I'm saying, what we deal with from our women, what we deal with our kids, so on and so forth. And truth be told, we do understand. But we've been beaten to such a position, we gotta, for lack of a better phrase, we gotta consider how everybody feels over the goal. And that's why a lot of us are not meeting the goal, sad to say. But them sperms that he was just talking about, that's why you gotta let them joints go. That's why you gotta let them joints go. You'll be making bad decisions. You don't do that.
Don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you.
Hey, the fact he got a straight face about this shit is crazy, though. You know he ain't lying, bro.
That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
Yes.
It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room.
Point taken. A guy and a man, big difference.
And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
I had no idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked.
Hey, hey, Pat, that day he's stuck. I ain't never seen him stuck like that.
About it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. Hi everyone, my name is Terrance Howard.
Hey, that's a fact though. But you heard how you said he still got to go and work a real job so he can afford to chase and finance his dreams, like a lot of us do, including my ass. So we out of this bitch for the night. But the point he made about having your man card taken, man, that's something that a lot of us need to take a lot more seriously because I don't feel we even consider this at all, and that's why we are in some of the situations that we in. Um, the start of certain things may feel good, but what you end up giving up in the end is not gonna feel good at all. And you know it because the start of it feel too good. You feel like you're getting over, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you're in a compromising situation. I can't tell you not to be community with people, but what I can tell you is you need to make sure you establish yourself and be self-sufficient as the person, the man you want to be. Now, if you set out to go out here and spread your cheeks as a man and you end up spreading your cheeks, then I guess that's goal accomplished. But if you've been waking up in your every morning of your life knowing that that ain't you, but you willing to do that for access to somebody's money or connections or whatever, which they're never going to give you. You know what I'm saying? Once you play that role, you know good than a girl that fucked to get into the party. It's very few women that fuck to get into the party that ends up escalating in the game. You know what I'm saying? And you will be one of them. Just you gonna have a penis. On that note, we out of here, dog. Some of this shit is so appalling that it's even conversation. It's ridiculous, man. But what can I say? One.